meat and potatoes of this thing, right? So basically what we're doing here is one of the most basic functions, and I mean, if you're going to be in cloud, you're going to have to know this, but basically one of the benefits of cloud, one of the functions slash features, whatever you want to call it, is to have, an EC2 instance. So EC2 is elastic compute. Essentially, it's just compute power, so it's going to be a virtual machine, right? So what you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to go to launch instances. And before I get to that, what we're going to show is how to launch an instance. And then after we launch it, we're going to create a key pair, because obviously you want things to be secure, right? And so once they're secure, then we want to SSH into the device, and we're going to show you how to, generate the keys and basically SSH into the device. So it's pretty entry level. It's this is pretty much the first video we're doing here, but it should be working and it should be of some help. It should be of some help for sure. So to get started, what you're going to want to do is after you log into AWS, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on the Launch Instances button. Now, okay, here we go. So you want to make sure that you get something that's in the free tier. Obviously, otherwise you're going to get charged for it and you're going to end up spending a lot of money. So I pretty much always select Linux servers, and Linux is something good that you want to learn with cloud, just because, with Linux and cloud, there's a lot of Linux in cloud and a lot of servers are on Linux. Linux is free. So that's part of the reason you want to get it. It's not to say that's the only thing, but there are people that use Windows servers and other servers as well. But in this situation, we're going to be using Linux. So you want to click on select. Now, again, you want to go to the free tier eligible and go to configure instance details. So we're only going to be setting up one instance right now. You can set up multiple, there's all these different options here, what subnet you want to be in, you know, obviously you want to get an IP address, let's see here. Mainly all this stuff here, we're not really going to be using, at least for this, we're pretty much just going to go through it. So just a brief overview. This is right here is where you would put a boot script. A boot script is essentially when you are spinning up some type of computer or image server, what have you. It has some command. You would type like scripts in here. So let's say that we wanted to make this a web server. So as soon as this would boot up, it would run the commands that we put in here. And we put in stuff, essentially commands that we would want to have to to have it start like Apache web server, and that's what that function is for. So that's kind of cool. I always like showing that. On to the next portion. This right here is the place where you select your storage. We're just going to do general purpose storage. We don't need anything fancy. Adam, can you hear me? Is everything going okay on there?
Absolutely.
Hello?
Yes. Sorry, I had my mic muted. Absolutely, yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I just did all that for no reason.
No, we're good. We're good.
All right, in this case, we're just going to add a tag just because we want to give it a name. So we're going to say SSH Lab for the name. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to go. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to, we can create a new security group. So this security group here, we do have to allow permissions to allow SSH into. This is more or less where, if you don't, like, you can allow all traffic, you can allow.
It's like a network security group, right?
Yeah, essentially that's what it is. So you got it. And, a lot of these things on here, I know you do a lot of the Azure stuff, so they're not very different,
I
so
can
to
see it.
speak.
It looks almost the same.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah, it's like, it's so similar. that it's like it's just like a different interface.
Yeah.
But other than that, like over here we have like okay, so in Azure you have something called data lake, correct?
For unstructured data, like blob storage and
Yes,
stuff like that. Yeah.
exactly. Over here in AWS we have something called Glacier.
Okay.
So it's like so it's so similar, you know what I'm saying? But basically what we want to do then
And then,
is
do you know what
we're
your
just
structured data is called? Like the
um
SQL?
stru structured data for SQL.
Yeah, for Amazon.
We have Amazon like for SQL, we have like Amazon Aurora. I believe there's Amazon Redshift. So there's different applications for it, you know. Um, just I know one of them is I think Redshift. I'm not sure if it's Redshift or if it's Aurora, but one of them is for like analytics, but the other one is just for straight up SQL. I think it's Aurora.
Okay, that's
But
cool.
so we're gonna allow SSH in here, and then pretty much from anywhere. And so we're gonna go over to review and launch. So this is kind of just the page. It's like, all right, this is everything, this is the breakdown of what's happening. And so you want to have this here and just click launch. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new key pair. So what's the date today? Today's the 16th, right? Jan 16th KP key pair. So we're going to download that. All right, cool. So we're going to save that. And then we're going to launch instances. So when we have this right here, this basically when we download the key pair, we're going to go to view instances. When we download the key pair, this is where you need to have Puttygen. So okay, so it's the instance right now. The computer is essentially spinning up. So we just need to give it a little time. So if just to tell anybody who's going to be doing this, you're going to need to download Puttygen and Putty. So what we want to do is we want to open up Puttygen. Let's go in here. So we open up Puttygen. Okay, so Puttygen is open. All right, cool. So that's our key pair in there. So what we're going to do is we are going to load the private key file. So we go over to downloads. Let's see here. Okay, so we go to open. All right, successfully imported the key. Okay. And then we go to, I believe it's save private key. Okay, so in this case, we're just going to save it to the desktop. So we're going to do Jan 16th PPK. Now we're going to save that to the desktop. Okay, so now we should be good on that front. So what we're going to do then is we're going to click on this check mark right here. And it's going to give us our public IP address. And so that's what we're going to use to connect to the device. So we just open up Putty, not Puttygen, just Putty. And we take the IP address. Well, let's see here first. So where is it? Okay, so we click on SSH, we click on auth. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically open up that file that we just created. So Jan16 ppk. So we're going to go to open. But before we do that, we're going to copy the public IP address, SSH. Okay, let's go ahead and click open. All right, so once you see that screen right here, you pretty much know that's a good thing and that you're pretty much getting in. So let's see here. Matter of fact, let's try this right here. Maybe we use that instead. Yes, EC2-user. Okay,
Bam.
bam, we're in. So basically what you're going to use is your public IPv4 DNS. That's what you're going to use to get into the device. And so now that we're in, obviously this is the server here, and we're pretty much in at this point. So that pretty much completes what we're going to do. But then again, just to recap, right? What you're going to do is you spin up an instance. If you want to be in the free tier, obviously use Linux. You don't really want to change much as far as all this different default settings that they give you. You pretty much keep those and just keep going. And then when the instance is here, oh, you definitely do create a key pair. And so then you download that key pair, you open it up in Puttygen, you load it in there, and it gives you a private key. I believe Amazon gives you the public key, and then you put it in Puttygen to and it generates a private key. And so once you have the private key, you open up Putty and you put it inside. You load it into that one menu under auth for authorization, and then you connect to the IPv4 DNS. And once you do that, then you should be good to go. It's always a good sign when you get that one screen. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So this is just a starter lab just to get people, pretty much logged in and just learn some basic functionality on AWS. So
Yeah, that was a great video. That's great for anybody who's trying to get into the AWS computing.
right, right, right. Okay, cool, cool. Well, I think I'm gonna shut this one down right here. And one of the things also you want to remember is whenever you're in AWS, you're getting, you want to like shut off the computer. So stop the instance and yeah, whenever you want to do that, whenever you have like instances or databases or, anything like usually a lot of times you just want to stop it all because you could get charged. And one of the other things I will tell you is if you do get charged, you can actually go and speak to Amazon and just ask that they refund you and actually just tell them that you're learning the AWS platform and they typically refund you. Like I've done it like 3 or 4 times, all on the same account.
That's really good to
I've gotten
know.
back like, yeah, I've gotten like $300-400 back. Just like, you just ask them and they're like, yeah, okay, if you're learning, that's cool. We'll just refund you. I mean, it's Amazon. They got enough money anyways.
True, yeah.
So, all right, cool, man. That's pretty much it. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna stop the video on my end.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found some value in what we had to say today. I hope you were able to follow along, or if you weren't following along, I hope you watched and had some fun. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.